May the Lord bless us all and keep us in safety and security. May he guide us to everlasting love and peace. May he calm the seas we sail and the skies above. May he grant us safe passage through his path to glory. Amen.
Need a moment?
I guess it just didn't hit me yet. About yesterday, I mean. I was hoping this service would help me find peace. He's gone. And he was all I had left.
Are you all right, child?
She lost someone dear to her.
He was anything but dear. It's just, he was all I had left of my family, and I don't know where to go from here.
The loss of a family member is always hard, no matter the relationship one had with the lost one. But you must try to take things one day at a time. Trust that God is working out everything for your good. Choose to believe in him, and more importantly, choose to believe that he loves you and has a plan for you. God bless you, child.
As bad as he was still my uncle. Do you think if he knew his life was in danger, he would have tried to change his ways?
I suppose the jury is still out on that one.
Jury? That's where I've seen you from. You swine!
Excuse me?
You have the nerve to show your face here?
I travel in this class. What's your excuse?
I do not have to explain myself to a man who allows his personal matters to interfere with justice.
What are you talking about?
I recognize you. You were on the jury for the trial against Caleb Tolliver.
What?
Everyone knew he was guilty, but you let him go. And I suffered greatly from my husband's weakness that came from this injustice. How do you live with yourself?
It wasn't that simple. You wouldn't understand.
Then perhaps, Professor Chilton, you would care to help me understand? Shall we say the boat deck in 5 minutes' time? And as for you, Miss Colvin, you are obligated to join him. There has been an unusual development regarding your deceased uncle.
You never told me.
It would only have established...
But I thought we were in this together. Why didn't you tell me you were involved with that trial?
Why didn't you tell me you were Tolliver's niece?
Now, Professor, I want the entire truth from you, and if you withhold anything from me again, I will have you confined to your quarters regardless of your innocence in the murder. Take your time. I can have the captain turn the ship around if need be.
Do you honestly believe you have that power?
The captain already knows that I was trailing a pair of con artists in Southampton. He is the one who's commissioned me to find Tolliver's killer. So don't question what I can do. Now, what about it, Professor?
I don't see how it's relevant. We've already established our alibis.
I'm afraid they no longer hold water, Professor. You see, we have a witness claim that she saw two figures leaving the scene of the crime. Those two figures broke their way into the second-class staircase.
What does this have to do with either of us?
Firstly, Professor Chilton's involvement with the trial, and secondly, the envelope that I have just handed to you earlier. Tolliver seemed to be all talk and no action with some of his activities.
Oh my God.
The motive has just become stronger now. Now, as for you, Professor, you have failed to say that you were on the jury for Tolliver's trial last month. Why did you deliver a not guilty verdict?
Because I had no choice. Back in February, someone gave a tip to the police. They accused Tolliver of deliberately causing the fires that destroyed that factory. But the tip left out the part as to how they knew. So that couldn't be proven in court.
Go on.
The first night after the trial, I received a threatening letter. I had a younger brother. I took care of him. That night, he was missing.
Was the letter a ransom?
Yes. It said that if I did not deliver a not guilty verdict, the kidnapper would kill my brother. If the police got involved, they would have killed him anyway. So I explained everything to the rest of the jury. I even showed them the letter. They were the only ones who could help me.
And they all agreed to a not guilty verdict in order to save your brother's life?
Not that it mattered. Even before the day of the verdict, they found his body. He was floating down the Thames. He couldn't swim. Then the scandal of the verdict reached my university's ears.
And they sacked you?
They forced me to resign. And with my brother gone, I had nothing else to live for in England. So I saved up every shilling I had to book passage. But what I don't understand is why the trial is so relevant now. I already told you I didn't know he was aboard until after we were underway. It would have been difficult to commit the murder in such a spur of a moment, wouldn't you think?
That's where you're wrong, Professor. The murder was very much premeditated. You see, on the day he was murdered, he came to me with an anonymous letter. It said the ship of justice, leaning from starboard to port, has docked safely in court.
I know that phrase.
That's what led me to suspect some connection to the trial. Now that you've had a stronger tie to it, your motive has become stronger now. And you clearly now stand to benefit from his death.
I swear on my own life. He said he was going to leave the bulk of the will to Henry.
Is that so?
Yes.
Then why did you tell me before that you knew nothing of who would inherit the most?
Excuse me, Mr. Gethin. The captain wishes you to join him in his sitting room.
Tell him it'll have to wait. I'm about to apprehend...
I'm afraid it cannot wait, Mr. Gethin. Captain's orders.
I'm not through with you yet. See that these two are confined to their quarters. Then meet me in the captain's sitting room.
Very good, sir. If you please.
None of it means anything. I still didn't kill him. And I don't believe you did either. Inheritance or no inheritance.
Thank you. Same with you.
I really don't want to have to...
Jane!
Henry? What are you doing here?
I thought I'd never see you again. Listen, I must speak with you.
I'm sorry, sir. I've been ordered... I cannot wait too long, sir.
What is this about?
First, I wish to offer my condolences. He was your uncle, after all. It hit me hard, too.
I have nothing to say to you. You ended things with me.
But that was a bluff. I wrote that letter in his presence so he would think I've given up on you.
Well, you certainly gave a good imitation.
But don't you see? We can marry now.
Are you serious? My uncle just died.
Yes, I know, and I'll give you the proper time to grieve. But now there is nothing standing in our way. We can be happy once and for all.
Actually, there is something standing in our way still.
What?
You said it yourself, Henry. It wouldn't look well for us. A matter of position, you said. And now that I stand to inherit, it simply would not do for an heiress to marry a secretary. Come, Thomas, let us leave this assistant to his devices.
What was that all about?
Couldn't you tell? He never loved me. There were at least 750,000 reasons he wanted to marry me.
It was said earlier that he would inherit the majority. That is, until the will was actually read. And once he realized that you hit the gold mine...
He suddenly expressed affection for me all over again.
Young man, you're the one who's been assisting Gethin in his investigation of the murder. Were you present at the reading of the will? What was Campbell's reaction?
What are you thinking?
Up until the reading of the will, Henry Campbell believed himself to be the beneficiary, and the will was not read until after Tolliver's death.
No, it's impossible.
Why do you say that?
I know what you're thinking. He had the temper of someone who would kill in a rage, but he'd never actually harm a fly. I've seen him physically refrain from doing so.
You mean something in his psychology prevents him from committing murder?
It's almost as if the idea paralyzes his physique. He could beat a man nearly to death, but he'd never actually finish the job.
And their cabins were right next to each other. Why go down all the way to E-Deck and risk getting caught?
Sir, I must get back to Mr. Gethin. So would the two of you please be good enough to...
Has Gethin actually gotten anywhere with the investigation? Perhaps we can be of some service.
But sir...
We will not budge from our cabins until Gethin says we may. But if you act for us and report back anything you find of value, perhaps we can get to the bottom of this ourselves. Here's £5. You help us, we help you.
I can't promise anything, Professor, but for the sake of resolving this case, I will try. Now, I really must get back to Mr. Gethin, so please return to your cabins and don't leave until I come to talk to you.
What is it, Professor?
The bellhop knows something. I could tell.
All right. Bring him in.
You wish to see...
I will do the talking, Mr. Gethin. Now, I have commissioned you to investigate the murder of one of my passengers. According to Mr. Moody, you have thus far been unsuccessful.
I beg your pardon, sir.
You've established quite the introduction of yourself when you first aboard. I was hoping you would live up to your caliber. Con artists be damned! Your priority was to solve this murder, and yet you've no one in custody.
Sir, no disrespect whatsoever. I was actually going to present you with my report this afternoon. It turns out that whoever killed Mr. Tolliver seemed to intend to exact revenge for an incident that occurred either last month or 2 years ago, depending on...
Damn your eyes, Gethin! You've wasted all this time on the notion of premeditation. We're dealing with what could have been a random killing spree.
What could... a killing spree?
One of the third-class stewards reported to us 3/4 of an hour ago. There is evidence suggesting an attempted murder down below once more. This time, it was a third-class passenger.
Did you say attempted?
A young female passenger by the name of Eva Kennedy struck from behind with a blunt object. Her hair was set up in a bun, and it was rather thick, so she did not receive the full force of the blow. If her hair was down, it would have been fatal. All the same, it did knock her out. Dr. O'Loughlin is tending to her now.
Has she regained consciousness?
We are waiting for the doctor's analysis.
We ought to consider ourselves lucky that it was only a steerage passenger. The situation would be easier to contain if it were down below, I mean.
Thank you, Mr. Ismay. But my point still stands. A second murder was attempted. We have a killer on the loose. And given that she is in third class, it is impossible to link her to Mr. Tolliver's death.
Actually, Mr. Wilde had said the woman's name was Eva Kennedy. In the report I have given, she herself gave a statement with regard to one of my earlier suspects. And now that she has been attacked, this may make it easier to apprehend our culprit.
I certainly hope so, Mr. Gethin. My patience is running dry. If you do not have the one responsible in custody by midnight tonight, I will see you confined to your quarters and the rest of this ship on lockdown.
Very well, sir. Mr. Atherton, meet me outside.
Very good, sir.
Mr. Ismay, I've said it before and I will say it again. This is not how I intended my final voyage to play out.
I understand the situation, EJ, and I can assure you not a word was sent out over the wireless about this unfortunate turn of events. I am sure that at the speed we are driving at, we could arrive in New York by Tuesday evening rather than Wednesday morning.
Mr. Chairman, a passenger has died and another one has been attacked. What difference does it make whenever we arrive?
And whenever we dock, no one leaves the ship until we have somebody in custody.
But, EJ, as unfortunate as it is that a passenger has died, if the ship docks earlier than anticipated, the press will consider that a commercial success. If the passenger's death is released as an unrelated illness, it can hardly overpower the significance of a ship's maiden voyage ending on a high note.
I must object to this mindset, Mr. Ismay. A crime has been committed.
And I am considering everything at stake. If word gets out that a crime was committed, everyone would want to sail Cunard, and they'll never trust White Star again.
Enough, both of you! Now, I do sympathize with the situation, but I'm afraid that Mr. Ismay does have a point. In this case, discretion is the best approach to take. But I have a responsibility to my passengers. If they learn that one has died under my watch due to foul play, they will never have any confidence in their captain again. I've already failed twice to protect my passengers on this voyage. I choose to be discreet to protect my remaining passengers until we are safely ashore.
Excuse me, sir. Another ice warning. This one's from the Coronia.
Thank you, Sparks. I take it we all have an understanding?
I can't believe I didn't see it before.
What?
Ava Kennedy. She knew the truth. That's why someone tried to silence her.
McGowan? But she provided him an alibi.
She might have well have said, next time I tell them the truth, and she uses this opportunity to blackmail him.
But sir, they're both steerage. It doesn't hold that either one had enough money to be blackmailed for. And anyway, what about the accomplice? Miss Kennedy said that there were two that night.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. McGowan's father was foreman at the Myra Mill, and Dylan Bennion, the former chief engineer, just so happens to make the same voyage as McGowan's son.
What?
He knows what makes bad quality in steel production. Who's to say he's not knowledgeable in chemicals? Ergo, the strychnine.
Sir, how could he have obtained the strychnine, let alone the syringe to use it? Stokers have no business having access to these kind of things.
Perhaps that is what the key we found was used for after all.
Master Tom's did say he was missing a key to the hospital's cabinet.
Precisely. Now let's put an end to this whole thing. Jamie McGowan.
This had better be good.
In the grand scheme of things, it is. I'm arresting you for the murder of Caleb Tolliver and the attempted murder of Ava Kennedy.
What? Ava? I haven't even seen her since last night.
She's in the hospital right now under guard. All I have to do is have her identify her assailant, and it's under lock and key you go.
This is a load of horse shit. I told you I didn't kill Tolliver, and I'd never lay a hand on Ava.
We'll ahead to him in that. Come on. That's a good lad. I need to speak with Miss Kennedy.
I'm sorry, sir. She's not taking any visitors. She needs rest.
I just need a moment. I needed to see if she can identify the man who attacked her.
It's out of the question. She went into hysterics, fearful for her life. I've given her a sedative. I'm not going to have her get upset now.
This is official police business, Doctor. Now stand aside.
My God, Ava!
Is this the man?
Stay away from me, Jamie.
Ava, it's me!
That's enough! Get out of my hospital!
It's all right, Doctor. I've got what I needed. Come on, you.
I didn't do it! I swear, Ava!
Shh, don't worry, don't worry.
Ava!
You're safe.
I'm telling you, you got the wrong man!
Oh, really? Then where were you when Miss Kennedy was attacked?
I was at the Sunday service, in a saloon. The others can vouch for me.
Ah, but how do you know that was when she was attacked?
Oh, Christ almighty, does the truth even matter to you then? Gotta earn your wages by locking innocents up? It's always the same with your type.
You watch yourself, McGowan. I earn my living. Keep an eye on the door. I'll be back.
Where are you going, sir?
Going to get his friend.
You got your head up your ass. I already gave you my alibi. Mose can vouch.
That's like you to say that. Being amongst your kind, you could have worked it out before you killed the man.
Then you might as well arrest Mose for being an accessory. Don't they teach you that in detective school?
Any more out of you, and I'll have you before a grand jury. Come on. Got one final loose end.
Yeah?
Oh, Inspector, this is quite a surprise. How can we help?
Well, you can start by dropping the airs and the fouls and the yas and the nines and all that rubbish. Won't do you any favors.
Your ambassadors shall hear of this.
It'll be a short conversation since your ambassador and my ambassador are one and the same. I know neither of you are really German. I've known since the other day.
You've known what?
When we last spoke, I uttered a phrase in German. Ist wenn ein Hundebracken ist bin lang an gewinnt. Correct?
Yeah, but what is...
If you truly were German, you would have been outraged. What I said was, it will take a miracle for your country to win. What if you say to that, Mr. Billy Young?
Who?
Billy Young. Con artist, card shark, and if I may say, decent good actor, if you actually learn German. Of course, you can only get so far without your other half. Christina Bell, con artist, swindler, and an expert in forgery.
What are you on about?
You asked Tolliver to sign a document confirming that you attempted to persuade him to do business. Did you honestly expect me to believe that such a document even exists? Unfortunately for you, I've known that I was on the right track when I trailed you since Southampton.
All right. Suppose I am who you say I am. What of it? You gonna arrest me for getting that fat bastard to sign a phony document that wasn't going to go nowhere?
Except perhaps the bank.
What?
Miss Bell, if you'd be good enough to fetch the document in question.
Of all the idiotic...
No, Billy. It's over. We can't talk our way out of this one.
Quite cooperative. Ah. So this is how you made your living. Getting people to sign fake documents that are stacked on thin material so that you can get the signatures onto blank checks without arousing suspicion. Very good.
Man's got to make a living, and with bastards like Tolliver around, finding decent work ain't so easy.
You worked for him once, didn't you?
Not me. My brother Eddie. Three years ago, he burnt his leg from a burst furnace. Tolliver sacked him with no pension, no severance, nothing. That was when we realized we can never trust the big man to look after us.
At this rate, it's becoming more of a consensus rather than a coincidence. I assume he worked at the Myron Mill?
Aye. After he was let go, he encountered some, shall we say, like-minded blokes. Blokes who wanted to rid the world of pigs like Tolliver. One of them mentioned how easy it would be to...
Yes?
How easy it would be to bomb the factory.
How did you feel about it?
I hated Tolliver, sure, but I'd never do anything to this scale. My brother, though.
What happened?
2 years ago, I followed them as they were walking towards the factory. I didn't think they'd actually go through with it, but before I knew it, they were tossing incendiary bottles into the windows of that factory.
And then?
Some coppers showed up almost immediately afterwards. There was a fight, unlike any I've ever seen. The anarchists brought rifles. They came prepared for a shootout.
So, Tolliver knew he had enemies, and he knew his secrets had to be destroyed. And a group with bombs decided to take out the very factory that contained said secrets. And when the smoke cleared, Tolliver would have given out a story about his factory being destroyed by anarchists.
But sir, from what we've been gathering from everyone so far, Mr. Tolliver was accused of being responsible for the fire for insurance reasons. Not a whole lot said anything about anarchy.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Someone in that syndicate did not want it to seem like insurance or an accident. Someone wanted to make very clear that it was the work of anarchists.
So we seem to be steering away from the matter. Sure, Billy's brother and a few others bombed the factory. And we conned Tolliver. But that don't mean we killed him.
No one said anything about you committing murder. I'm only here to confiscate the check.
Oh, come on.
You can't cash in on a dead man's account without a lot of hassle. If you want money, go talk to his niece.
What about us? What are you going to do with us?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Life isn't always fair, son. Circumstantial occurrences. Your brother was forced into these hardships. As long as this had nothing to do with the murder, I won't waste time to book you for it. Besides, it won't do any good to make the charge stick if the plaintiff is a corpse.
What will the captain say to you letting them go? The con artists, I mean.
I was mistaken. The connections I made with the von Gutenbergs were purely coincidental. The real cons gave me the slip in Queenstown.
But...
Life's rough, son. We do the best we can. Besides, the captain pulled me out of the trail. No one's getting hurt. Well, not anymore at least. Here. You've been very helpful.
I'm only doing my duty, sir. I won't say a word.
You're a good lad. Well, it's nearly 6 o'clock. Better get some shut-eye. Tomorrow will be back to as normal as it can get for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, sir. Now that McGowan and Benny are confined, does that mean that Miss Colbin and the professor are...
Oh, I almost forgot about this too. Yes. Very well. You can inform them both that they're free to leave their cabins. Have a good night.
Good night, sir.